So hi everyone, my name is Jakub. I work for BlindShell, and today I'm speaking to you from Prague, Czech Republic.
Hello, and my name is Filip, and I'm Jakub's colleague. We are both sales managers of BlindShell, and today we are going to introduce to you our lovely brand new BlindShell Classic 3.
Oh, I love a new product and I love a launch, especially when it's here on Double Tap. We get to share the news first. I love it. I'm so excited. And who better to do this with than sales managers? Listen, guys, welcome to the show. It's great to have you here. Listen, I want to talk about the new phone because, of course, everyone's going to want to know about that. Let's be honest, that's the showstopper right there for everyone. It's like, tell me more. But I want to ask a couple of questions first about BlindShell as a company, what's been going on, because there's been lots of speculation in the community around BlindShell, in particular in the USA. What's going on there? Because there was BlindShell USA, and now there's not BlindShell USA. What's going on?
All right, so I will probably take on this one as I'm in daily contact with our partners across US, and I'm the one who's responsible for any communication in there and sales. So what happened is that BlindShell USA was our partner for some time, and after some internal evaluations on our side and some results from the market, we have decided that it's time to actually level the service we are provided across the world and in the US, because we want to have the same level of service and support for our customers and partners. So we took over the market directly, and it's also because of right now we are two guys doing BlindShell business, so we have more time, more power, and we believe that the effect will be even better than it was before. And we hope and we're doing our best to raise the level of support we are providing in the US market in the near future.
Yeah, maybe I can add that we used to operate the US market from Prague, from our base in the past already, since 2019 when we first entered the US market. And we were kind of expecting a little bit more from having a local master distributor for the whole United States. At the end of the day, we found out that we can make, I think, better services locally from Prague internally.
Okay, interesting. So, and how does that work in terms of support for those who've perhaps bought through BlindShell USA before and are perhaps wondering what support or how support continues?
Well, at this point, actually, the best way, as we don't have the local support yet, the best way is to contact us directly to Prague at our email address info@blindshell.com, and we have an absolutely amazing colleague, Dominika, who will help anyone who needs some help or support. And as I have mentioned previously, I'm working daily on. So we are able to provide local support to our US customers because we value our customers in US absolutely much, and it's my daily task actually to set up the local support in US.
Okay, and of course, I guess one of the questions some people might ask regarding support is if a phone or something goes wrong with a phone and it has to be returned to get fixed, would that then have to come to you in Prague rather than a local support technician, for example, in the US, as may have been before?
So at this point, we have some, temporary solution, which includes our one of our partners in US. So the communication still needs to go through Dominika in Prague, but when there is any need for return or phone swap, most probably it will end up by shipping inside US. So the customers shouldn't be shipping phones to Czech, but locally in US through our partner.
Okay, interesting. I also want to just ask a question. Darren, one of our listeners, dropped us recently. He was asking about updates to his BlindShell Classic 2, and he said, I hadn't received an update for quite some time. Is that normal?
At this point, it might happen that there is no updates so often as it was used to be. And I think the answer for that is that actually our development team have been working very hard on BlindShell Classic 3. And at some point, we have just reached the the point where BlindShell Classic 2 is stable, it's working well, and the priority of the development went for BlindShell Classic 3. But on the other hand, I want to mention that even with launch of BlindShell Classic 3, which is actually happening today, which is amazing, we are definitely not killing the product. We're not discontinuing BlindShell Classic 2. It's still going to be available, and it will definitely receive all of the most important updates, and we're going to keep it alive and support it.
Excellent. Okay, fantastic. Well, I'll maybe come back to you on that at the end, but let's move on to the product itself, because, of course, everyone wants to know about this new phone that you're launching today. BlindShell Classic 3 is out, bigger and better than all the rest. Is it faster than last year's phone? Because I so often hear that from Apple, right? It's always faster than last year's phone. I'm guessing it's the same here. But yeah, okay, let's talk us through. Similar design, or have you changed anything?
Yeah, this is, the benefit of our product is obviously not about speed of a processor and user storage memories and resolution of cameras, etc. So this is not the main thing that are making our phone unique. Of course, if you are looking for the best phone, the phone with the best hardware specifications, then you would probably go and get an iPhone, of course. But our uniqueness is something different. We've been on the market 10 years, and we've been in a very close relationship with very close touch with the community. We are really active in the community and searching for the feedback that we are asking the blind and low vision users what they really want, what they really need. And that's how we built our products. We are in active cooperation with the Czech Blind organization here in Prague, and these guys are our primary testers and feedback givers and advisors. So without them, we wouldn't be able to build a great phone such as we did. As I always say, you can never build a good car when you are not a driver. And we are all sighted in BlindShell, of course. So we can never do a good product without having the experience, how it feels to live without sight or with low sight, with low vision. So that's why we ask our partners, our business partners and the end users, tell us what you want. Tell us exactly what you want, what you need, how we should do it. And I put that in brackets, we just did it. So, BlindShell Classic 3, today is a big day, the day D. We are launching this product to public, and we are really proud of it. We are really excited because it's more than 3 years since we've launched the BlindShell Classic 2, and that was a big revolution that time, because it was the first product that we've ever built, like the complete as a whole product. Because all of our previous products, they were based on a third party hardware. Which caused us some troubles, but BlindShell Classic 2 was the first product of its kind to be developed or designed by the blind people. I mean, when talking about the hardware, they told us exactly what they want, how big the phone should be, where what the layout of the keyboard they would prefer. They told us, hey guys, the buttons are too far away from each other, we don't like it. No, this is too close to each other, we don't like the shape of the buttons, we don't like the material, make it different, and etc, etc. So we were kind of ping-ponging like demo units to them. They were giving us their feedback back and forth, and it took more than a year to design the final product. And so after these 3 years of having BlindShell Classic 2 in the market, we found out that the product from the hardware point of view is really great. It works, it does what it's supposed to do. So back to your question, the hardware is pretty much the same on the Classic 3 as it was on the Classic 2, because we haven't received any negative feedback from the market, so it really works. So there is no real need to change the hardware significantly. Of course, there are some minor changes and improvements, such as we have new colors of the device. We always had two color variants of one product, always having one color in dark colors, the other one in light, which provides better contrast. So we always used to use black and red variant. Now we are using navy, dark blue, and the golden sandy beige color instead of the red one. So that's the first change that you notice at first sight. What you notice at first touch is that we've changed the surface of the material. The finish is a little bit different, a little bit softer, much more pleasant if you touch the device. So the grip is much more comfortable now. We've increased the RAM memory, making it smoother action without any latency or delay. We've increased the user storage memory. Now we have a dedicated light sensor. We've changed the layout of the home screen, adding a progress bar that is showing you the current position on the menu. So for sighted and low vision users, this is a great tool for a better orientation in the menu. So there are some smaller, minor hardware changes, but of course the main points that we've changed and that are making the real difference between the Classic 3 and Classic 2 are inside software-wise, of course.
Yeah, well, I'm really glad you're keeping the hardware the same because, I always tell my mother, stop moving the sofa around. I cannot find my way around in your house. I keep tripping over your blooming sofa. So yeah, I'm glad to hear the buttons are in the same place. In terms of the camera, that's always a question we get as here at Double Tap especially, what's the camera like? Because, of course, the camera can be used for so many cool things. Of course, AI is one thing, but, OCR and all that. Is the camera improved in this edition?
I have to say no. As I mentioned, that's not about hardware specifications. Our value is somewhere else. So the resolution of the camera remains the same.
Okay, let's talk software then. I was reading about the Tandem app. Let's start there. Tell me about the Tandem app. What does that mean? Yeah,
Tandem is really one of the blockbusters. I would say it's a great feature. It's our own app that was developed by BlindShell development team, and it's a communication platform. As the word tandem says, the philosophy behind that, it's like two people doing something together, one person helping or supporting the other. So Tandem is, first of all, it's a communication platform like instant messaging application. It does pretty much the same thing as WhatsApp or Facebook Messenger and stuff like that. But the difference and the real benefit of Tandem that this application is fully integrated in the BlindShell Classic 3 environment, into the phone itself, into the operation system. So the BlindShell Classic 3 user has actually no idea that he or she is using a third-party application, because the design of the phone is the design of the application in the Classic 3 is the same like if you are sending a standard SMS messages, text messages. So you have no idea that you are actually using a third-party application similar to WhatsApp. And on the other hand, we have a Tandem application for smartphones, both platforms, Android and iOS. And from that point of view, it is a standard third-party application. So the benefit of this connection is that we have a communication between the Classic 3 user and a smartphone user. And both sides are working in their natural and comfortable environment. This is what makes the apps, the instant messaging part of Tandem, so unique and special. But mainly, Tandem is not about instant messaging, but it's about support, as I mentioned. It's about the possibility of remote control session. So you can have your Classic 3 controlled remotely by a smartphone or by any other device. So you can establish a remote control session. So this is a great tool for the user who gets into trouble, needs some kind of a help, some kind of assistance with the settings or with writing a message, creating a contact, basically any kind of action. So he or she asks for this remote control session and can have his or her phone controlled remotely, either by a family member or a friend or son or a daughter, or by a professional assistant from the customer service line from his reseller. So it's a benefit for both sides, for the user that will get his support that he needs, and for the distributor or reseller, it's a great tool for effective customer service. So our resellers don't have to spend 1 hour on the phone explaining to customers where to go, what to press, what to change, etc. Now they can easily connect to the customer's phone remotely and do the settings from their end. So this is a great tool for both sides.
So I've got two questions. These are functions that you as a user. So I am the BlindShell Classic user here, and I need someone to help me. I am establishing that connection with someone else. Someone can't just take control of my phone at any time.
No, that's actually one thing which is very, very secure about Tandem, that for Tandem we use separate list of contacts. So for example, in your BlindShell Classic 3, you can have, 100, 150 contacts for many people. But to Tandem contacts, you put only people you really trust. I think the most used contacts are going to be family members, close friends, friend community, or maybe, as Filip have mentioned, people working in our partner's company providing customer care. That's also one of the options. I would just like to add a little bit on top, as Filip have mentioned. This feature is one of the examples how we base our development on feedback from market, because we heard many times that sometimes it might be just difficult for our customers to explain what they need from customer care. And on the other hand, it might be also difficult for people who work at customer care to explain to our customers what to do. So we wanted to make this process as easy as possible. And on the other hand, we don't really want our customers to rely only on customer support, but we believe that Tandem will be a tool to strengthen the relationships between the community members, family members, and that's what we want to do. We really want to help our customers and people within the community we are working for.
Okay, so that kind of leads me interestingly to my next question, which is, when someone is connected to my phone, will I hear what they are doing on my phone? Will my screen reader be reading out as they navigate through menus, etc.?
Yeah, actually you will, because the Tandem remote control session is based on classic phone call. So there's phone call going on, and at the smartphone you hear whatever BlindShell Classic 3 is talking, and as a BlindShell Classic 3 user, you also hear what's going on in your phone.
Because you know what I'm getting at here, right? Someone could suddenly be in my phone and I don't know what they're doing on it. And, I want to know. I mean, it's like when someone takes control of my computer, I can still hear my screen reader navigating around. So I know if someone jumps into my documents folder, I'm like, okay, what are you doing in there? So, these are things that are really important. But you mentioned their community helping the community. So essentially someone who's a BlindShell Classic user could assist another BlindShell Classic user. So two blind people help each other out, right?
Yeah, exactly. It works also between two BlindShell Classic 3 users, so I think people can help each other even within the community.
That's brilliant. That's absolutely brilliant. And to be very clear, that's between users of BlindShell Classic 3. So you can't do that with the 2s.
Yeah, exactly. Tandem is an exclusive feature of the BlindShell Classic 3. One of the big differences between the 3 and 2.
And of course, you've got that companion app, which is for smartphones. So, a son or a daughter or a husband or a wife, someone else can be there to assist if need be by taking control of the phone from their smartphone. And is that iOS and Android?
Yeah, both platforms are available, iOS and Android.
Well, we have the app available on Android, and to be transparent, on iOS it might take a little bit more time, because we all know that Apple is keeping their environment absolutely safe, which is the feature we love about Apple, and it takes a little bit more time for them to evaluate the app properly. So we have the confirmation that actually the app is secure, and it's sort of positive for us, because that's also confirmation that the app we have developed and the connection between the two devices is safe, because if it wouldn't be, Apple would never allow it.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Now, look, AI is everywhere, and we hear everything AI these days. It feels like AI is being shoehorned into every single product you can think about. But what I think we look for here in the blind community is meaningful use of AI, and there certainly are plenty of examples of that going around. You're going to embed AI into BlindShell Classic 3. Tell us more.
Yeah, we've implemented AI into our virtual AI assistant. We call it Luna. Luna is a clever girl, clever woman who can help you with daily tasks, with finding information about general questions. It's powered by ChatGPT, so it will basically give you the same answers that ChatGPT would give you on your laptop. So you can ask any kind of static information For example, geographical data, historical data, meaning of a word, like static information means those kind of information that are not changing throughout the time. We are also thinking about implementing also some dynamic information, but we will first of all we want to collect feedback from the market on which task or which sort of questions would be interesting for our customers. This could give you a direction for our development team, which way to keep developing the Luna AI assistant further. So it's first of all, it will give you answers on this kind of general questions, and secondly, it's also integrated with our applications. As you know, we have a voice control feature already implemented in the BlindShell Classic 2. It works well, but the functionality of this voice control is quite limited. You can basically do three things with the voice control on Classic 2. You can launch applications, you can make a call, or you can dictate text. That's it. Here with Luna, you can not just launch application, but you can also take actions within the application. So you can, for example, set your alarm clock just by saying, hey Luna, please set my alarm clock on 8 a.m. on Monday and on 9 a.m. on Thursday, and that's it. You don't have to enter, you don't have to open the app at all. You can add an event into your calendar, for example, so you can do plenty of things without even touching the phone, without entering the app themselves. So this is another great improvement compared to the Classic 2. And again, Luna as an AI virtual assistant is another exclusive feature of the BlindShell Classic 3, so the Classic 2 will remain with its basic voice control feature as it is.
So tell me what else you can do with it, because of course the first question we all have is whenever anything new comes along, what can I do with it? And a lot of people don't realize the power of AI and what you can do, especially with something like ChatGPT, which is going to be powering all of this. So give us some other examples of what we can do. Whet our appetite here, guys.
Yeah, I think I can show some examples. You will launch Luna the same way as you launch the voice control feature on the Classic 2. So by long pressing of the right side button of the phone. What's the capital of United States?
Luna. The capital of the United States is Washington, D.C.
One more.
Volume 8.
What's the highest mountain in Europe?
Luna. The highest mountain in Europe is Mount Elbrus, which stands at 5,642 meters, 18,510 feet above sea level.
What is the best ice hockey team in United States? This is
Canada, surely.
This is a tricky one.
Luna. The best ice hockey team can vary season by season, but historically, teams like the Montreal Canadiens and the Chicago Blackhawks have been very successful in the NHL, with multiple championships. Currently, the Tampa Bay Lightning and Colorado Avalanche have shown strong performance in recent seasons.
Yeah, so this is how Luna works. If you ask her a dynamic question, such as, for example, what's the weather outside, or when your train is coming, it cannot work with these kind of data. So what will happen that it will redirect you to the internet browser with the question already filled in. So you don't have to type it down. You just search the results.
And I must admit, ChatGPT is getting more powerful than ever with this kind of thing. I mean, I asked the other day when I was in London, how to get from one part of London to another, and it told me. It didn't give me specific times, but it did give me the route, which was actually really useful. And I guess the question I have here is, what version of ChatGPT is this running? Forgive me if you've told me, but is it running the latest 4.0 or is it running something else?
It's the latest 4. And one more add-on, there is no additional cost for the user. All the cost of the ChatGPT is already included in the purchasing price of the device.
Oh, fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
I would maybe like to add one more thing to this discussion, because I would really not limit the power of Luna to ChatGPT, because we all think and believe that the biggest added value is actually in the integration with BlindShell apps and with BlindShell environment. And at this point, I think it's good to mention that both Luna and Tandem are in the very beginnings. So we are pretty glad we can introduce it to our users. They can work with that. And we're actually looking forward to any sort of feedback from our customers, from our partners. And we think, all BlindShell development is based on feedback. We believe that we will get so much useful feedback from market, and it will show us the direction where to go. So if the customers will come and ask for some feature, we will absolutely we will absolutely evaluate it internally, and if it would be possible, we will do our best to make it happen. So let's consider Luna and Tandem at this point as a beginning of new journey we are getting onto with our customers, and we all hope to receive feedback and have some very useful way to develop those two features.
And maybe you could bring on some blind people as well to the team. That might be helpful, right? I mean, let's be honest. A couple of guys on the team or girls on the team might give you that information as well. I mean, it's always useful.
Yeah, actually, as Filip have mentioned, in beginning, we are in very close touch with Czech Blind United organization, and those guys are super helpful, and their feedback is very valued, because it's as the saying Filip did, you cannot develop a car if you're not driving. So this is huge added value to our product and to our company environment itself. So.
Yeah, they are not the members of our team, but they are really close partners and people that we are in touch on a daily basis. So we have this feedback from the blind users on a regular basis.
Let's talk about third-party apps, because this was an interesting one I read about in the press release here. So what is happening here? You're providing more support to third-party apps?
Yeah, this is another thing or a complete topic that makes BlindShell Classic 3 completely different from the Classic 2. As you may know, the philosophy of BlindShell towards third-party application has always been kind of limited, kind of hesitant. Our goal was always to keep the phone very simple, very intuitive, and 100% accessible. So we didn't want to put or integrate into the phone anything that we weren't 100% sure about. So only those apps that were tested were then implemented into the catalog of applications into BlindShell Classic 2. However, we feel that we may have been losing some part of customers with this way, because if there is someone who just needs some kind of application and they don't get it from BlindShell, they will go elsewhere, of course. So, and these voices have been stronger and stronger recently. So at the end of the day, we decided to change this strategy, this overall philosophy of BlindShell, and we are opening the world of third-party applications on the BlindShell Classic 3. That said, we are not saying that all of the applications will be 100% working well, because not all of them are accessible. Not all of them can be controlled by just the keys up, down, yes, no, which are the four most important navigation buttons used on our hardware, BlindShell Classic 2 or 3. It's also good to mention that we are using touchscreen here on the Classic 3. This is mainly because especially some apps require some kind of a gesture. Sometimes you have to do some kind of a swipe or confirmation gesture on the display. We don't expect our users to use the touchscreen more than necessary, but it's there for these particular cases. The touchscreen is disabled by default. So if you go up and down the menu, if you're making a call, writing a message, making contacts or whatever, the touchscreen is switched off. So there is no change. But the touchscreen automatically switches on when you open a third-party application. And then you can choose whether you want to keep using the buttons or if you prefer tapping the screen. It's the gestures are pretty much the same as on smartphones, on VoiceOver and TalkBack. It's a bit simplified because the display is quite small. It's not easy to always tap the correct position. But as I mentioned, we think people will still be preferring using the keyboards and using the touchscreen only in case where there is no other option.
It's a difficult balance, isn't it? Because you want to provide more access to apps, but then you run into the risk of users finding challenges using those apps. So someone may want to use a banking app or whatever it may be, and then they find it's inaccessible to them.
Yeah.
How do you square that circle? Is there a way to do it? Because ultimately you want to provide access, and I think you've come to the realization that I think a lot of us in the community perhaps felt, especially those of us who are, let's just say more pro users, are kind of looking at this device going, yeah, it's great, but how are you going to turn every single app that's out there into an accessible app? You're just not able. It's not possible. That's not sustainable. You've clearly realized that. And it's a case of now looking at, okay, we need to open up the phone and try and make this world of apps out there more accessible through the device in its current form. It sounds like a challenge.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Stephen. We are on the edge of keeping the phone simple on one hand, but on the other hand, keep the phone up to date towards today's expectations. What people want, what people use, what they need. So this is a kind of compromise. We are opening it and we are telling the people, well, yes, you can download it, you can install it, you can use it, but we cannot guarantee that it's gonna work well. This is something that it's no longer in our hands. The world of third-party applications is beyond our influence. We cannot change anything on that. So every time you open the menu item of third-party application, the first you will see and you will hear is the disclaimer, is the warning that you are actually leaving the world of BlindShell. I call it a secure place, which is fully under our control, that we guarantee is going to work 100%. And now you are entering a different world. You are entering the world of the third-party apps, which is no longer under our control. And we have to make sure that the customers will understand that this is no longer in our hands. So we cannot change it. So if the app works, we are happy about that. If it doesn't work, if it's not compatible with the phone, then unfortunately there is nothing we can do about it.
But the flip side to that, of course, is that you then get access to all the apps you've been wanting to access through that device. So it could actually work in many's favor, and I think it probably would be more likely to be the case. And of course, there are many great resources out there now for finding accessible apps and knowing what's accessible. So that's good. I just want to ask you about the BlindShell apps themselves, because you have the App Store for BlindShell. Will that continue, or are you going to migrate to, for example, WhatsApp? Which is embedded into the BlindShell world, if you like. Is that going to be chucked out into I don't want to say the real world, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, in general, I can say that everything which has been available on the BlindShell Classic 2 is kept available on BlindShell Classic 3 as well. There is no application that would be discontinued or removed or disabled or whatever. Everything which is on Classic 2, we are keeping on Classic 3, plus we are adding plenty of new options, new opportunities. Basically, there are several kind of applications that you can find in the phone. Either it's our own applications that we developed by ourselves, such as Tandem, for example. Then we have third-party applications that are fully integrated into the BlindShell Classic environment. Although we are talking about third-party applications such as YouTube, for example. If you open YouTube, again, the design of the menus, it looks completely the same like if you're scrolling up and down the menu or if you are writing a message. So it's completely integrated into the environment. Then we have third-party applications which are kept in their natural third-party design, such as WhatsApp or Facebook Messenger. So these the design is kept in their natural, but it's been already tested. So we know that these apps are working well and are compatible with our device. Okay, and then we have a big group of applications that haven't been tested yet, and we are keeping up to the customers. Hey, you can try, download it, install it, and go on if it works well.
Yeah, you could always have like a recommended section, couldn't you? And say, hey, these are apps we've either the community has tested or you've tested. You could say, hey, these are great options out there if you want a specific app.
That's what I wanted to mention, actually, that we have this section available, like popular third-party apps, and we would really like to list there any apps we would collect enough of feedback from customers that it works well, and that gives us a certain power over selecting the apps that work well for our customers. So we want to keep this list updated. We have a chance to actually manage the list. So that's a good tool for us as well. Because, for a long time with BlindShell Classic 2, actually we were collecting feedback and requests through our partners. And then we had to do some evaluation. And it took time. And the customers who requested some app, they've been waiting for some time. And this process with the third-party apps being available on BlindShell Classic 3 could actually speed it up a bit, because we will collect the feedback directly. We will see what's happening, and it could be helpful for all parties involved.
So, one of the things that I love about the BlindShell Classic, I've always loved about it, is the design, is the style, is the way that you operate the device. And I think a lot of people have the idea, not necessarily through the marketing from you guys, just I think that the sense that this is a device for someone who is perhaps older, who perhaps doesn't really get into tech, isn't really that interested in learning how to use a smartphone, can't use a smartphone. I think it is absolutely for all of those people, absolutely. But there's a lot of us out here who, like me, for example, I consider myself a fairly pro user, but, I have an essential tremor in my left hand. I struggled to use a touchscreen. I really struggle with it. And I would love to use something like this because it would allow me to be able to access a device more easily and more efficiently. So there is a pro market out there. And I guess the question is that something you ever consider, or do you think about this as very much a simple device that is an entry way for people to get into the world of smartphones?
I think our phone is a combination of an... at first sight, at first experience might be it's something old-fashioned, something really classic. I really like the word because it really describes.
Nothing wrong with classic. Nothing wrong with classic.
It really is a classic, but at the end of the day, it's a modern smartphone inside. You can do pretty much the same as you can do with smartphone. You can do most of the things you can do with smartphone. You can do with this old-style, old-fashioned looking phone. But I want to say that the old-style, old-fashioned is on purpose, because this is what the market asks for. This is what we've been asked for to do. So this is a result of the suggestions and the feedback that we got from the community. So this is why the phone looks as it looks. And I think there is a big difference between the 2 and 3. With the Classic 3, with the AI and with the third-party apps, we are reducing the handicap that we've had against smartphones when we are talking about the Classic 2. Now it's even more similar to smartphone. Now it can do pretty much the same things. So now we are really targeting even younger generations with this phone.
Yeah. And with the colors as well. Golden sand, ocean blue. I love all that. I love fancy names for colors, and it gives me a sense of what we're holding in our hands, which sounds really nice. Talk to me about pricing then, so and sort of where this might be available.
All right, so starting today, BlindShell Classic 3 is going to be available across the globe. Our customers can purchase it through their local partner in each country, and the pricing is in US dollars $690 for the phone. Same applies for Canada, and in Europe, Filip, I think you can take over for Europe and other countries.
Yeah, the recommended retail price in euro is 649. As I mentioned, the hardware is kept almost the same, not 100%, but almost the same as the Classic 2, and so remains also the packaging, the box and accessories, which remain the same. Of course, we will have the flip cases available in matching colors, so in dark blue and golden,
nice.
golden beige color. And there are only two small minor improvements in the packaging. We have new earphones, and we have new lanyard. New design of lanyard. But all the other accessories like flip case, the silicone case, NFC tags or beepers, that all remains the same.
Remind us again how we can get access to this and where we should go for more information.
I think the best source of information is always our website, blindshell.com. You can see, you can find all sort of information, questions and answers, support section, manuals, tutorials, specifications, tips how to use it, accessories. You can find everything on one place, blindshell.com. And of course, our global network of distributors and partners can also be found there. There is a section which is called Where to Buy, so you can find your local distributor in each and every country.
And of course, if you're in Canada, that's CNIB Smart Life, which is absolutely fantastic.
That's right.
Listen, thank you guys so much for coming on. Jakub, Filip, great to talk to you. Thank you for sharing the news with us here on Double Tap.
Thank you for inviting us, Stephen. It was a pleasure to be here.
A pleasure, indeed. Thank you very much, Stephen. That's a great opportunity for us to talk about the new device, which we are really proud of it. It's our newborn baby. We are really looking forward to the new chapter of BlindShell.
And if I could add one more thing just for the closing of this interview, I would really love to thank our partners all around the world, because we wouldn't be able to get where we are without them and without their help. So if there's anyone doubting whether to get BlindShell or not, get to your local partner. You can try the phone and you will love it for the first touch.
Hi guys, Stephen here. If you want more content like this, then all you have to do is like and subscribe to the channel. And if you want to catch new episodes of Double Tap, you can do right here on YouTube every weekday from noon Eastern, or on AMI Audio across Canada, and of course, in your favorite podcast app as well. Thanks for watching.